Alright guys, here she is, the MagnaMod. Let me turn the light on. There she is. All set, just about. There's some things I still got to work out. Obviously the LEDs in the front aren't working. There's going to be some LEDs running across here and they're going to beat to the music. I'm just waiting for a part to come in. The skulls do light up. The lights on the eyes light up, but you have to put some substantial volume in order for that to happen. So I'm gonna have to switch those out. I'm gonna have to dig in there anyway because, as you can see, I'm running the Android tablet, wireless. Let me turn it up. It's charging through the internals. All the ones can be adjusted. I'll show you the lights light up. They have to go pretty loud. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, so I gotta be careful. But you see how weak they are? And the reason why they're not even is because the pots on here, the bass and treble pots, are dirty. So of course I didn't think of cleaning these before I put it together, so I'm gonna have to tear it down, which is in a way is good because I am going to switch out the LEDs in here because they're lame. They need to be super bright and they need to be a little more sensitive so that at lower volumes they actually blink like they're supposed to. But as you can see, the bass and treble controls work as they should. And plus you have the internal amp that has bass and treble on it too, and you have some adjustments on the line level input. So you have 3 ways to do this. Also the stereo separation, which is one of my favorite things on here. That also works, obviously. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this down for a second. The Android tablet, the way I had to put it in there in order to get the headphone jack, the SD card slot, and the power to it, I had to flip it upside down. So that's why it has incredibly sad angles for. This is a cheap Android tablet, but it does do the job. As you can see, if I go down this way, it actually looks better, but if you go up this way, you lose all the colors and everything. But in order to get it in there, I had to flip it upside down, and now it's running upside down. Anyway, when I hit the power, right now I use a jumper for the. When you would have to press record and play in order to use the auxiliary, but I use a jumper where the leaf switch would go, so that it stays on. Obviously, this is just I'm just doing this for the moment. But if you hit the radio power on button, you will get your radio. So that works. You can see. It's working fine. I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath. Anyway, I mean this isn't 100% done yet. I still have to clean the controls. I also have to get the LEDs in here so these flash back and forth like they're supposed to. And I am going to put a permanent face on this. This is just temporary. It will look a lot more professional on this one as opposed to my other one. There's some hum, a little bit of hum and a little bit of hiss, but you know, if you saw the wiring in there, you'd be surprised that the little bit that I actually do get is amazing. It could have been a lot worse. I'll have some grounding and whatnot to stop that from happening. It's very faint, but it's there. Once you turn the volume up to 3 or 4, you don't hear it anymore. But anyway, there's a little bit more weight added to it, obviously, because that big speaker in the middle. But here's the on-off switch to turn on the power to the. All the power supplies are in there. There's 4 of them. The 212 volt for the LEDs, a 24 volt, which is on the back of here. That is for the amp and then you have a 5-volt that's down in here, and that is to run the Android tablet and charge the Android tablet. You can leave this plugged in. The power will stay on for now. Obviously, I'm going to have a workaround on that, but it's definitely shelf queen. There's no other way of doing it. I mean, the back went on perfectly. There's a lot of wiring in there. I still have to reroute it and whatnot, but otherwise it's almost there. I'm going to make a second video when I get the LEDs in the front working, and I'm going to have to pull the boards out, and I really am probably going to take out those speakers and change the LEDs in those too. But outside of that, it sounds really good. I mean, nice bass. I had to fine tune because there's 3 ways to change the volume and the bass and everything on there. I'm gonna have to fine tune it perfectly so there's, you know, it's the volume doesn't, you know, it's working at the appropriate level. And I could probably eliminate some of that hum and hiss because the amp inside is almost turned all the way up. I need to turn that down. Like I say, it's just some few things I need to do to get it to 100%. But I mean, outside of that, it really came together extremely well. Like it came together is exactly how I wanted it to. But you know, there's still a few things, a few little kinks I need to work out. But the next video will have it all together, working properly with, you know, all issues taken care of. But I just want to show you a video of it so you guys can see it up and running. Anyway, leave some comments down below if you have any, and let me know what you think of it. All right.